Hi everyone! In this video I kind of wanted to change up the cover of the sketchbook I have. I really like it. It's a marker sketchbook and I've been using it a lot recently. I just don't like the cover. I feel like it looks a bit boring and I wanted to do a small painting on top of it. But before applying the gesso, I gently sanded the cover because it has a very kind of glossy plastic feeling, and I wasn't sure if later on gesso will start lifting. And then I applied a generous amount of gesso because it's also a soft cover and I kind of wanted to add a bit of a rigidity to the cover. And I let it dry for a day, and on top of it I'm applying some matte acrylics. Basically it's gouache acrylics. This is the only acrylics I have at home, that's why I used it. But at the end, I do like this, kind of velvety matte finish. Especially I think the oil painting, which is usually a bit shinier, I think it will have a good contrast with it. And now I'm just picking up my white Conti pencil and doing a quick sketch. Usually when the media I'm using is opaque, like oils or gouache, I only make sure that I get the proportions right. I don't care that much about, getting details right in my sketch, because I will always have an easy way to correct them. I can always just apply, more layers of paint. While I was sketching with my pastel pencil, and whenever I tried to erase some of the details, I noticed it was leaving this kind of a white smudge behind, and I really like the effect. It feels like the June bag I'm sketching kind of glows a little bit on the edges. I really like this effect, and you will see that when I do get painting with my oils, I will try to reproduce this look and feel at the end. And finally, I'm starting to use my oil paints. I really like how vibrant they are from the get-go, and how well they contrast with the background. This is probably my second ever oil painting, so I don't have any technique. I have no idea what I'm doing, so if you are looking at this video kind of like as a tutorial, probably this is not the one. Another thing is that I don't really want to use like solvents and minerals at home, and that kind of further limits me, because whenever I watch tutorials, that's what artists do, and now I'm left like thinking, so what do I do? And what I'm doing is I'm just applying paint straight from the tube. I don't know if it's the right way, if I'm gonna regret doing it, but it's just a simple sketchbook. Even if the paint ends up cracking and whatnot, I don't really care that much. So yeah, I'm just enjoying the moment. I'm sure oil paint consistency, depending on the brand, will be different. The paints I'm using here are Winsor & Newton student set, and I really like it straight from the tube. I bought some linseed oil thinking I will need to dilute it a little bit, but so far I've been using it as this, and I feel like the consistency is perfect. It's what I would kind of expected and would want anyway. I'm working with a smaller flat brush, and I kind of like doing paintings with the same brush because I feel like it gives it the texture and brushwork consistency, if you know what I mean. I do at the end sometimes switch to a smaller brush for the small details, but I don't always like the effect. I kind of like chunkier brush strokes, and I don't know, sometimes when you do like really fine details, I feel like it ruins the effect like I'm going for. Like especially this small legs and all. I feel like I could have switched to a smaller brush, but I don't know, I felt like I didn't want it to be that detailed. And yeah, the first layer is done, and I let it dry for a day because I noticed it was difficult to layer the paint because, as I mentioned, it's so soft. Whatever you try to layer on top, it would just, mix with the bottom layer. So I let it dry. It was a little bit kind of dry to the touch the next day. Also because I applied a really thin layer. So yeah, now I'm moving on to the top layer, and here I'm paying more attention to the more subtle hue and tone shifts. With oil paints, I also enjoy the fact that I can leave it for several hours and come back to it later, and everything still will be wet and workable and blendable. And I'm also a slow painter, so I definitely see that as an advantage. Sometimes I do a bit of work on my lunch breaks or between errands. I also find that taking breaks between phases of a painting is really beneficial. You kind of snap out of the tunnel vision when you spend a lot of time looking at it up close. So you kind of step out, and when you come back to it, it's easier for you to spot any inconsistencies, any problem areas, like maybe contrast is off or color palette is off. So yeah, definitely take breaks, and it will make your paintings better. Another huge advantage of oil paint for me specifically is that when it dries, it doesn't shift in hue or tone or value. And coming from watercolors and gouache, this is kind of mind-blowing to me. I mean, I knew it intuitively, but it's something that makes it so much easier for me. And yes, as promised, I'm trying to reproduce that smudged glowing look. I've also seen other painters do it, and so I'm doing that. And the main problem is not to get carried away too much, because I was enjoying it too much, honestly. Yeah, and I feel like it also, because I didn't do very detailed work on the on the horns. Are they called horns? Horns and like legs of the bug. Doing this kind of like smudge look gives it kind of brings back the spikiness that bugs have on their limbs. And I also felt like I needed some smaller background elements, but something that's not like too much, because the June bug is already very vibrant and shiny and colorful, so I wanted the other elements to be a lot more subdued. So I wanted some kind of leaves in the background, and I was searching for fun leaf shapes, and I found this fan-shaped leaves of a tree called Ginkgo biloba. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. I don't think I've ever had to pronounce it out loud. And I also learned these trees are extremely unique because they are known as living fossil, and they are one of the world's oldest living tree species. They were around 350 million years ago. It's mind-blowing. And their leaves have this really fun shape, and I wanted to use that for my background. So I sketched a bunch of them, and I tried to be kind of versatile with the shapes. I didn't want it to have this pattern look where, they all have the same look. I also felt like my June bug was feeling kind of lonely, so I added a couple of tiny ladybugs in the background. If you noticed, the next day I transferred my oil paints to this tin box because it has a cover. Before that, I was just keeping it in the on the open glass palette, and I noticed overnight it kind of the top layer got cured a little bit, and I felt like it was wasteful. In general, the air in my apartment is quite dry, so I felt like maybe it's better if I cover my oil paints so I don't waste any of it. Another thing is that because I refuse to use solvents and minerals, also are solvents and minerals the same thing? Because I hear them mentioned a lot in the oil painting videos, but I'm not sure if they're the same thing. But anyway, the thing is I don't know how to clean my brushes. I bought some oil brushes and I was cleaning them with I think it's called something like Master's oil brush soap or brush soap, something like that. And still my brushes got very stiff because they got this leftover oil paints in them that got cured. And I tried to clean them with other things as well, with alcohol and just regular dish soap, but it didn't work. They still feel very stiff. So at the end, I just bought a set of this really cheap flat brushes in the size that I like. And I just figured if they got ruined, I can just dispose of them. They cost like 20 cents per brush, so no big deal. But if anyone has any suggestions how to clean the brushes without using solvents, I would really appreciate it. And I'm doing last adjustments here. I did the red ladybugs, and I felt like it needed to have a more unified look with the June bug, so I added some red accents on the June bug as well. And I feel like it looks a lot better with the other elements together. Here it's all done. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video.